China says it plans to restrict exports of rare earth metals and build a strategic reserve of these valuable minerals. But this decision by the world's #1 producer of rare earth metals has sparked global concerns. Let's check out what these are.
The Daily Telegraph has reported that China's decision could cause a crisis for high-tech development. The UK newspaper says global energy competition has entered a new stage, claiming this is because nations are already experiencing difficulties in acquiring rare raw materials. The U.S. News and World Report says the U.S. relies on the Chinese exports for new energy uses. Export restrictions on the metal elements could cause few refineries to cut production, triggering a new nationwide energy shortage. Meanwhile, The Times worries that China's plans could lead to a global supply shortfall, adding that the monopoly of rare earth metals is unimaginable for Western nations. But developed nations have hardly mentioned the benefits they have won from China's willingness to tolerate the Western world's environmental abuses. Many countries, like the U.S., have already built their own rare metal reserves. They use imports to protect their mineral reserves. The U.S. is the world's second-largest rare earth metals holder, accounting for nearly 12% of the worldwide stocks. But it began halting production in 1999 for strategic and environmental concerns. Australia and Canada are also tightening the mining of rare earth metals and importing from China for mineral reserves. South Korea and Japan nearly import all rare earth elements from China. The minerals are used in 1/3 of Japan's industrial sector, and the country has on reserve 2/3 of its annual imports for strategic purposes. Zhang Lu, CCTV.
Japan, along with other developed countries, are concerned by China's push to curb exports of these rare earth resources. But for China, a relentlessly buyer's market has prompted calls for reforms and pricing. Zhang Junfeng tells us more.
Wei Jianzhong is a rare earth metals miner in mid-China's Jiangxi province. He says he's been suffering from a lack of negotiation power on prices for long.
The prices of rare earth metals are not decided by miners based on cost and reasonable profit margins. They are decided by buyers.
The reason is simple. The rare earth metals trade has become a buyer's market. More than 100 miners in China compete fiercely for a handful of international buyers, forcing rare earth metals to be sold dirt cheap.
If your competitor decides to sell at a below-cost price just for a deal, you cannot beat him.
The competitive pricing has left China's rare earth metals mining industry reeling. From 1990 to 2005, China's rare earth metal export volume increased 10 times, but average prices tumbled by 2/3. Rare earth metals are used in superconductors, hybrid cars and other high-tech devices. CEO2 is used in various metallurgical and nuclear applications. Its price per kilogram is 18 yuan or cheaper than pork. China has realized overexploitation and lack of supervision is to blame for dwindling prices. The U.S. has the second-largest reserves of rare earth metals in the world but has sealed mining sites. Japan also has enough reserves of rare earth metals to last for 2 decades. Zheng Junfeng, CCTV.